Good morning, class. Today we will discuss the next topic of the chapter Russian Revolution. Prior to this, we have seen, we'll discuss today the Russian Revolution in its main topic of the chapter. But prior to this, yesterday we have discussed the socialism in to Europe, how it came, and where we have seen the capitalists, how they were living, how they were means earning the capital from the country, and what was the role of the capitalist in society, and how Karl Marx and other like Friedrich Engels rose their voice, and how they motivated the people, and how they reached their messages to the people. So we have seen yesterday this much. These were the two people and who argued regarding like the equal distribution of wealth in the society. Now, support for socialism, we had seen there that three parties were popular, that is in Germany, that is Social Democratic Party, and in England it is Labour Party, then in France in Socialist Party. So here Russian Revolution we are going to study. Russian Revolution, the main part of this, that is monarch Tsar Nicholas II, who was ruling in Russia, and this particular area which you see here, it is the Russian Empire, which is showing with black color. So let's come to the main point of that. Try to understand how was the society, how was he ruling. So we know that Russian Revolution occurred that in the year 1917, and the fall of monarchy in February 1970 with the events of October are normally called the Russian Revolution. So how it happened, what was the situation, and the condition we will discuss. So in 1914, Russian Empire was ruled by Tsar Nicholas. Tsar Nicholas II. Tsar was the title. You understand this. Who was a corrupt and oppressive ruler. Okay. In the book it is not written, but we know that why the revolution took place, we very well know about it because we read French Revolution. So here the story says about that he was a corrupt and oppressive ruler, and Russian Empire included Moscow, Finland, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, part of Poland, Ukraine, and Belarus. These were the area which were included in Russian Empire. Russian Empire stretched to the Pacific, comprised Central Asian states like Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. So here you can see this is given, it is the area particularly and nearby region. So this map also you find in the book. And the majority of religion, if we discuss which kind of population was there, the religion was mainly, it is Christianity, Orthodoxy Christianity. And empire also include other, that is Catholic, Protestant, Muslims, and Buddhist. So these many religions were there, and these kind of people were in the society. Now when we talk about economy and society, so basically we know about that there is agriculture, mainly one of the main occupation in which 85% of people are engaged. So in the 20th century, because Russian Revolution period we know that it is 1917, and 20% means like 20th century 85% of Russian population were agriculturists, means fully they devote on to the agriculture, and main occupation is of agriculture. Russia was a major exporter of grain, means it, like when agriculture is there, so means the export of the grain is, and prominent industrial areas were Moscow and St. Petersburg, means very few industries were, only two cities we can see here. In 1890s, Russia's railways network expanded and foreign investment in the industry increased. Reason behind, in these two means these two centers, these two cities which were popular for industries, so that's why establishment of railways network and foreign investment was there. Industries were controlled by industrialists, obviously. So a few industrialists who were having hold over them, and workers were divided into groups on the basis of their skill. Means, like today, when you study industries in geography, or last year you read about, when we talk about categories of industries, so they are small, they are large. Okay, so like these particular, and people, suppose in an industry what kind of labor is required in industry, three kind of labor is, that is semi skilled, skilled, highly skilled. Okay, so these three categories are there. Same happened in Russia. Women made up 31% of the factory labor, means accordingly women were also working in those factories. And but sometimes you know that the salary or wages were not given according to the men. It is unequal. So despite division, workers united strikes work when they were unhappy with the working condition for the working hours. Means though it was not allowed to make the union or association, but whenever any condition take place where the people are not happy, means they are not agree with the system rule regulation, so at that time they become united. Frequently took place in textile industry, and during 1896 or 7, metal industries during 1902, means this was the period of time when strike took place. It happened when strike used to take place, the people, the worker gathered and they unitedly oppose that. Means it happens when somewhere united strike is taking place, so in that support of another industries also got down close. So when you talk about the Russian peasants, because agriculture we are discussing here, and we cannot leave this paragraph untouched when we read French Revolution, that the role of the farmers in that society and how the revolution took place there. So in the countryside, when we see, peasants cultivated most of the land. Obviously, when 85% of people farmer were cultivating, and they refused to pay rent or taxes. It was the main source of earning, the revenue or source of earning for the ruler. So Russian peasants had no respect for the nobility. In that time, you see that in French Revolution, people respect noble, because noble with them and they supported in revolution. So they refused to pay the rent, they were not respected them, and they wanted lands of the nobles to be given to them. The peasants even murdered, and the landlords, particularly in 1902 or 5. This was the year, this in this year basically the high revolt took place. Russian peasants, unlike the European peasants, pooled their land together. Now this was the specialty of Russian Revolution or the Russian society. Like the peasants, unlike the European peasants, pooled their land together periodically and commune. Commune is that meal, divided it according to the needs of the individual families. Means because the conditions sometimes poor, so they collectively cultivate the land, and whatever the profit comes, they distribute among each other. How socialism in Russia it reached and how it came. So all the political parties and were illegal Russian before 1914. This happened, means we have seen in the industrial area party or association were not allowed to make, and the Russian Social Democratic Worker Party founded in 1898. This was the main party, which again you'll see divided into two. It struggled to give the peasants their rights over the land and belong to the nobles. Means struggle give means the main motive of this party was that the peasants should get their right of land, means the land should be only of them. As land was divided among the peasants periodically, it was felt that they were natural socialists and they were main source of revolution. So socialists founded the Socialist Revolutionary Party in 1900. But the Social Democrats disagree with the Social Revolutionary about peasants being one of the social group were divided over the strategy of organization. Russian Social Democratic Labour Party was divided into two groups. These two groups are, here you see, this the main party was, you see, Russian Social Democratic Labour Party, RSDLP. It was divided into two, that is Bolshevik and Menshevik. Bolshevik, the leader of Bolshevik was Vladimir Lenin, and Menshevik leader was that Alexander Kerensky. So till here by the PPT I made most of the thing clear, but when we go to text I show you how it was and what is the main text of the chapter. So let's come there. Okay, so in the book we see that this is Tsar Nicholas, and we studied about how many countries are involved in Russian Empire and what were the religion here. So you can see, you can understand. After that, economy and society, agriculture societies, that 85% of the Russian Empire population earned their livelihood or living from agriculture, and only 40 to 50% people were means like France and Germany proportion between that was, and that industry was found in the pockets. They were in Pittsburgh, then Moscow. Then craftsmen undertook the workshop, means everything was there. Workshop, some means engineering work is done. Then some workshops were near the industries and near the big factories. So then after the industries were the private property of industrialists. When we see the condition of workers, we know that there are three kind of workers were available: skilled, semi-skilled and skilled. Means accordingly they were provided their job. 30%, 31% population constituted by the women, and despite this all these divisions, sometimes the strike went on in the industries and people made association, though it was not allowed. Not any party was allowed in Russia. Only one party, that is Socialist Democratic Party, was allowed, and that again divided into two, as we discussed. There was no any value of the nobles. Okay, they were not respected in the society, and the land was collectively tilted, or agriculture is done, and commune may divide according to the profit according to the family's need. So socialism in Russia, when we talk about that, how it had happened in the countryside or in the cities or village, that Socialist Democratic Party was founded. You must remember this date particularly, that is 1898, and it was again split into two, that is we have discussed Bolshevik and Menshevik, but organization were not allowed in the country. Okay, nobody could form any party with their own wish. So Socialist Democratic Party in 1900, you have to remember which party was in village and which party was in the city. So here you see, like Russian Empire custom dividing the land periodically made them socialist. So peasants not work should be main force of revolution, because peasants were sometimes happy in their agriculture, so they could not be the part of Russian revolution. And in the late 19th century, Socialist Revolutionary Party formed and struggle peasants, means on behalf of peasants they were demanded something, and belonging to the nobles and transferred to the peasants. And social democratic disagree with that. Social revolutionary about the peasant. Lenin felt, Lenin means he was the leader of Bolshevik. He felt that these farmers cannot be with us for a longer period of time. That's why he stressed over the people who were the laborers, who were the living in city. So the party was divided over the steady organization. Vladimir Lenin, he was the leader of the Bolshevik party, and Kerensky, we have seen, he was the leader of Menshevik. So this was main about the till here the introduction of Russian Revolution. In the next video, we'll discuss the another revolution, the part of revolution, that is Bloody Sunday, and how it happened. So I stop this video here. Thank you. Have a nice day.